These humanized mice trials are now all over the place. And Yancopoulos and Regeneron made billions of dollars on the patents alone. They partnered with Gates and Yale to develop this technology that destroys the natural immune system of a mouse or a lab rat so that it accepts the human organs. It would normally reject them. Now it accepts, we can graft cells and graft organs of livers and thymuses from these lab mouse and lab rats. Now we test our vaccine, we test our pharmaceutical drugs, and the mice behave exactly in the same manner that a human would.
Which is why I call Fauci the Joseph Mengele of this generation. And my listeners of this podcast have heard me go into detail about Fauci and Francis Collins' funding of the University of Pittsburgh and some of the humanized mice trials that go on there and the scalping of babies' heads killed through late-term abortions, and then the infant human hair that grows on the back of the rat.
Yes.
But they've done other organs attached to the lab rat, not just the scalps of babies. Inserted subcutaneously on lab rats, if I recall. And Judicial Watch also exposed this. And we have the pictures. We have pictures of rats with infant human hair growing on their back.
Publicly released.
So what AJ is saying, guys, is you got to get the baby body parts.
Exactly. And so the problem when it comes with ethics here, and I use that term ethics loosely, right? Because we're defining ethics not in the biblical sense, because we would just say all of this is pure demonic evil, right? But by their own standards, by the standards of you shouldn't have a baby come out alive. And if you can kill it in the womb, but if it comes out alive, then that's unethical. By their own standards, you can't use the drug that stops the baby's heart so it doesn't come out alive, because that same drug, whether it's lidocaine, whether it's digoxin, or whether it's KCL, nukes the stem cells, destroys the stem cells of the tissues and the organs that we need to acquire for our research projects. So the question now is, how are they doing it? If we know, like for instance, the skull, right? So we know they have skulls. They're growing, they're putting skulls on mice. They're growing baby hair on these mice. So the question is, how are you doing this without a partial birth abortion? Because if we do a D&E, you're going to crush the skull. But if you do a labor induction, you have to give digoxin and then you fry the stem cells that you need. So how are you doing this legally without these babies being born alive?
I see. So what you're saying is the fact that they're obtaining healthy, intact fetal organs is proof positive that the way in which they're obtaining them is itself illegal.